Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Magic Mics, proudly sponsored by Mana Traders, as well as Twitch subs and Patreon supporters just like you. My name is Evan Irwin, and get started each week by saying hello to my two co-hosts, PowrDragn.
What's up, everybody? And I'm coming to you from a secret location today. Actually, not so secret. Just things I saw were secret.
Very, very secret. The internet's Reuben Bressler.
Yeah, not a secret location, but secrets surrounding the location. I, on the other hand, am in my own house. I won't tell you where that is so I don't get doxxed. So I guess I'm also in a secret location.
Well, just remember that Reuben does have resting Reuben face.
That's right.
Just in the pre-show.
Yes. Check out these eyes. Check out these sunken Eastern European bags I got.
Oh, geez.
They make me check these instead of carry-ons.
Reuben looks very similar to the first time I ever met him. It's Reuben.
I've been 40 since I was 10. This is how I look.
All right. Well, that said, for those who did miss the pre-show, you can get access to that as a $5 plus patron to 10 plus years of ridiculous pre-shows to our extended version right after the show, of course, from today. If you missed it, and we kick it off with our first pick where we're talking about some Spider-Man cards. Spider-Man is coming. The Spider-Man set is more or less here. Are there more previews left? Am I wrong? Are we on?
Yeah, it's all week.
Okay, so they're not quite, because I said the Omen Paths, the digital versions will be up on Monday. Like all of them. So I'm guessing the whole set will be out by Friday.
Yeah, it's just a 1 week preview season.
Yeah. So it should be out pretty soon. And the Spider-Man set is on the smaller side. It wasn't going to be on the way smaller side like the Assassin's Creed, but then they bumped it up. I think partially because no one liked how small those sets were. That was, was it 4 to 6 card pack, 8 card pack, something? Those are not fun to
I
open.
would say I got the vibe of it's like an experiment to see, like, can you get away with doing this versus having to do Commander decks or something or whatever,
Right.
Yeah, this is kind of like cooking, right? The alchemy is like, do we add more cards? Do we take out some more cards? How many rares do we put in the set? Like, what are we doing? What do the people want? What are the flavors we're looking for? And they just undercooked Assassin's Creed a little bit, and so they're like, all right, let's add some more salt, let's add some more bits. How can we fix this? And I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, we've done the short booster thing twice, and it failed miserably twice. Once with the license thing, once with the magic thing. So they're just like, yeah, let's not do that anymore.
Yeah. So Reuben, tell us about the first card you want to talk about.
Well, there's some very exciting cards to talk about in the set, and some of them are going to see play in lots of formats. And the card that I want to talk about first is a card that is almost certainly going to see play in CEDH. And that card is Spider Sense. Spider Sense is a generic and a blue for an instant. It is a rare with web slinging. Web slinging is a new keyword ability that says you may cast this spell for a blue mana if you also return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand. And it says to counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. Now, I don't have to explain to anyone here why a 1 mana instant is good, or why returning a creature to your hand at instant speed might be good. And also not only at instant speed, but as a part of the cost of the spell. So this is doing a lot of stuff here. Not only are we able to win counter wars with our 1 mana counter spell, we're also effectively able to get maybe a 2-for-1 out of things, because we're getting removal off of we're getting creatures out of the way of removal while also being able to counter a triggered ability or something along those lines.
Yeah, I think the ability to even just bounce reusable and have ETBs, ninjas, blah, blah. Like, there's just so many decks this is going to go into, because it's not just giving you a counter, but also giving you utility of reusing stuff.
Yeah.
You can quote me on this. This is the best card in the set. This card is absolutely amazing. This card is fantastic. It is priced to move. I don't know how they could have made it better, quite frankly, because it's one thing to say, imagine a counter spell for 1 mana that you had to pick up a creature and so on. Well, you don't always have the creature. You don't always have a tapped creature. So this one says for 1 generic more, you counter two different type of spells that matter a lot most of the time.
And a triggered ability. Which is
the triggered ability is
wild. Yeah, the triggered ability
Yeah.
is wild.
Oh, trigger so-and-so happens. No. And I pick up
Yeah.
my thing that has a built-in, into the battlefield effect. Like it's crazy. This card is amazing.
A lot of cards in CEDH in particular, a lot of commanders in CEDH in particular, depend heavily on triggered abilities resolving. Things like Magda or Itali are particularly good when it comes to triggered abilities, much less Kinnan, which will not only play this card, but occasionally counter the 7-mana Kinnan ability. There's a lot of stuff to like about this card for sure.
Sicko, stop the triggered ability on Thassa's Oracle.
There you go.
Yep.
Counter Thassa's Oracle. Man, that's disgustic.
And
or
counters ability because it's
counters the One Ring ability.
Yep.
Counters Demonic Consultation, Tainted Pact, or Thassa's Oracle trigger.
Yep.
I mean, it does it all.
Yeah, this thing is sick. This card is like, I was reading, I was like, my God, I think it's in sort of Wizards' best interest to make sure that if not the best card, one of the very, very good cards in the set is rare and it's not mythic, so it doesn't reach stupid levels of cost or whatever. Because this can see a lot of play and a ton of decks, not just competitive focused where I'm looking at in terms of standard and so on, but obviously in competitive, competitive casual and casual.
Mm-hmm.
But man, this thing is just so versatile. I absolutely love it. And the flavor is fantastic. This is a home run, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
I would say even more so when a Universes Beyond product that you found a way to make it about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just a generic thing in the set. It's not something that's way overpowered, but it's like super utility, so it'll be seen and used. And it does feature Spider-Man and the main character, right?
Yep. Yeah, it just super flavorful. Soup to nuts. Fantastic design. Well done on that one.
Yeah.
Reuben, what's your second card?
My second card is a card that I think, it didn't jump out at me immediately, but the more I think about it, the more impressive Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly is. Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly is a generic, a red and a green for a 4/3 human spider hero with trample, and also has web slinging of red-green, just 2 mana, and has sensational save. If Scarlet Spider was cast using web slinging, he enters with X +1/+1 counters on him, where X is the mana value of the returned creature. So 4/3 for 3 mana with trample is a pretty good Magic card. That's already pretty good.
Yeah.
Web slinging of 2 mana, even better, which means you can pretty reliably go 1-drop turn 1, Scarlet Spider turn 2. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, because of sensational save, we're very often getting a 4/3 or, God forbid, a 5/4 with a 5/4, God forbid, a 6/5 with trample on turn 2 with cards like Hired Claw or Shaw's Chocobo or Burnout Bastronaut on turn 1, effects that are in these red-green aggressive strategies already, much less something like a Llanowar Elves that is able to pump this out. So I think that there's a lot to like about this card, and this thing is immediately going to have 4 toughness on turn 2, a halfway decent amount of time.
I would say the fun thing is, because of how web slinging works, you still get to attack before you return the thing to your hand, right? You don't have to tap as part of the ability. It's just return a tapped creature.
Right.
So you can still be aggressive and be like, cool, I'm going to get in with my 1 or 2 mana duder. And then all right, and now I just have this giant dude for next turn. So why not?
Well, let's go a bit further. You play Scarlet Spider. Next turn, you smash for 4. On your second main phase, you web sling a second one.
Oh, another
I had that thought too.
So you have a 2 mana 7/6 trampler go on turn 4, probably turn 3 with Llanowar Elves. So this card is incredibly very powerful. When it says mana value, I was like, did you just say mana value? It's one thing to be power, it's one thing to be whatever. Mana value is
crazy.
Yeah, this card is sweet. But particularly the fact that the web slinging is a part of the cost, so you can't it doesn't sort of mess itself up where you can web sling itself. This card is sweet and dope, and I love it, and it's very.
And they had the foresight to give it trample, so it's not like, I just got this big dumb idiot that's just gonna get chump blocked, right? It's gonna do work.
It's also going to be very fun with Ghalta.
That'd be fun.
Hilarious. Because it allows you to play an earlier Ghalta, but also it gives you a 16/15 Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly.
Jesus. Yeah, anything that reduces them cost, it starts to get silly when it looks at mana value, I'm telling you. Mana value, things like affinity, y'all, it gets crazy.
Sure.
All right, PowrDragn, what you got?
I have, so far from what I've seen, what's probably the most flavorful character card in the deck for me, and Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
It's a colorless black, or generic, I guess. You say colorless, people get upset. But a generic black green
Yep.
for a 4/3 human warrior villain. So those creature types will probably all matter. But it has trample. And whenever a creature an opponent controls with the greatest power among creatures that player controls dies, you draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on this card. This is super. One, it already does what Golgari decks want to do anyway, right? If you're doing the mid-rangey thing, it's like play your creature, kill some things. And you're going to likely just be killing their best creature anyway, which is often their biggest creature. So it's like, great. You kill their 3-4 mana thing, Kraven gets bigger, and you get a card, right? Just like in the comics, Kraven's always going after the biggest thing he can hunt, and he's looking for the next thing. So like, this is perfect. Like this card, I literally read it and went, no notes. Like, you got it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's a lot of great ways to take advantage of this. Not only are you getting that, what is it, Chulane the Hunter or Chumil the Hunter, like the bounty hunter commander that you're sort of like hunting things down, but this requires even less setup. You're getting paid off for your removal spells. But if your opponent, you know, if I'm thinking about this from a commander standpoint, I'm probably playing like a Forbidden Orchard to give my opponent a 1/1 just in case they have no creatures in their deck. I think that that's very fun. There's lots of green-black commanders that, you know, spread 1/1 counters around to lots of people with like Tempt with Rats or whatever that card is. Or what's the guy's name? The guy that makes plants. But there's lots of great things to do with Kraven the Hunter. And again, 3 mana 4/3 trample. So like not a lot to complain about.
Yeah, 3 mana 4/3 trample. I kill something of yours and it gets bigger, and that's awesome. And I draw a card too. Love it.
Yeah, very often you're going to be attacking with this as a 5 power before you attack with it.
Yeah. This is the card you play turn 2, turn 3, removal spell, smash for 5.
Right.
Go from there. You know, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, you get punished for curving out against this card for sure.
I love it. That card's sweet. What's your next card?
My next one, this one's a little bit more nuanced, but it's Sandman Shifting Scoundrel. For 1 green, you get a sand elemental villain, which I love how literal these creature types are on the villains in here. So it's like, he's a sand elemental. Of course he is. So Sandman's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Sandman can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, so you can't really chump block it. But then for 3 green, you return this card and target land from your graveyard to the battlefield. Like, it's that last line that kind of got my attention. It's not just even returning the creature. It's returning the creature and a land, which is really interesting. Like, just knowing the creature gets larger for the number of lands you control. So you're also getting a land back. So you're reusing your fetch lands or whatever. And you're like, cool, this thing can block, die, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep coming back. And I'm just still ramping perpetually. Like, this is really cool just as a card design. And again, because of the character just being this malleable pile of sand that just always just like trying to smother you, it sort of gives that vibe off, which I thought was really neat.
Yeah. Oh, how Terrafor has fallen. I wish that.
I love like Ultra Terrafor.
This is like the Ultra Terrafor. Although this guy doesn't have trample, but he also just can't be chumped by 1/1s. Yeah, this card's great. Sand is very entertaining for a Hazazon deck. That's a very fun little combo as well. And any deck that is like any amount of landfall synergy, get Rog Monster Commander, Gear Red Commander, like anything that's trying to play Icefall, Ice Till Explorer from the new set. Anything that's trying to fill up your graveyard, self-mill strategies, any of that kind of stuff. Gonna love this card in the 99, much less in the command zone. So I think that that's a great piece for the future.
And when it comes to my standard plan, but Insidious Roots says hello.
Yeah.
Insidious Roots wants things to leave the graveyard. It says there, you mill it. This is great because it's awesome to be milled. You want it to be milled. Milled is fine. Excuse me, bringing it back gets all the upside, and that's fantastic. All right, so
it does all the work for you in that deck. Like it returns itself, so you don't have to find something to remove a creature, and it gets you a land back.
Right. All right, so For my first card here, I like this first card because of kind of how original it is. It's really difficult, I think, and I think we found, to give white a lot of card draw. Like, some of it's the battlefield these days, okay, whatever. Not a ton of it. They're very limited, and I understand why. It can be scary. So for Rent is Due to show up, to be as cheap as it is, as powerful as I think it is, this card is really sweet. It's one white mana for a rare enchantment. It says at the beginning of your end step, this is your end step, you may tap 2 untapped creatures and or treasures you control. That means 2 creatures, 2 treasures, or 1 treasure, 1 creature. If you do, draw a card. Otherwise, sacrifice this enchantment. So you have the ability to put, treasures that you make just playing Magic. Just playing cards that make treasures do treasure things. Playing lands that give you treasures, for example. Just putting them off to the side, just keeping them tapped pretty much for all intents and purposes, and you draw some cards. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this the color that makes infinite token, 1/1, whatever, rabbits and so on? Fantastic and perfect to go. So if you're not able to draw off of making those tokens, let those tokens let you draw cards for your Rent is Due. So is it too much? I don't know, but it's priced to move. They can't make it any cheaper, and it reads pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, one, why does this not cost like 5 or 6? Because it's Rent. Rent ain't cheap. But like, the other thing though is I would not be shocked if this ends up being a $20 plus rare.
Right.
In the set. I think it can show up in regular 60 card decks as well as almost every commander that wants to make any amount of treasure.
Yeah. I mean, getting treasures is a high priority for a lot of decks. And so this being able to take advantage of those treasures and turn them into cards without even sacrificing them is a huge deal. Being 1 mana is great. Really good with your Bright Glass Gear Hulk. I think you're able to search for this.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's a lot of 1 and 2 mana white treasure like creatures. Like they come in with a treasure. Like Tataru Taru is in standard. Lotho from the Lord of the Rings set is another one that's pretty good there. And then there's also creatures that want to be tapped, like Amara, Soul of the Accord, loves this card, for example. So there's lots of things to like about Rent is Due. It's such a low cost in Magic, not in real life.
Oh, for sure. And I would say that, this is a really fantastic sideboard card for an aggro deck versus a control deck. You're going to sit there and you're going to draw cards, and they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to either start bouncing this, killing your treasures, or killing your creatures. Oh, you blew out a Wrath? Okay, here's 2 more creatures. Tap them, draw cards, say go. Oh, I played another Rent is Due. I'm going to tap 2 treasures, 2 creatures, draw 2 cards, say go. And you just sit there, and they got to answer it. You can't just let them sit around and keep drawing cards for nothing forever. So I think that card is super duper rad, and I like it a lot. This next card, I changed my mind and found a different card I liked because it came out today, I think. I'm pretty sure. This is, what did it say here? It was Lizard Connor's Curse, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it to show up. Because I found it and then it's not showed up in the search results. Come on, guys.
It's in Scryfall.
It is, but it wasn't showing up when I was searching for it. Okay, anyway, it's fun. It's here now. The point is, this card is rad. Lizard Connor's Curse is 2 green, 2 generic mana for a rare legendary lizard villain with trample. It's a 5/5, so it's a 5/5 trampler for 4 mana. Decent stats, we're starting well. But it has Lizard Formula as an ability. When Lizard Connor's Curse enters, up to 1 other target creature, that's up to, by the way, loses all abilities and becomes a green lizard creature with base power and toughness 4/4. I love this a lot. It's funny to me. If this is one of the ways that they have sort of found that green can kind of neutralize things and stop things, whether it's turning permanents into creatures or it's just telling permanents that this creature is just doing nothing now. It's just a thing that has no abilities. I think that's awesome. You can pump your own stuff if you want to, which is fine. Or more likely, your shoulder does nothing now, thanks. Or whatever is on the other side of the bill. Your Atraxa does nothing, thanks, bye. It's a 4/4 now. It can't even block this profitably. So and again, you don't even have to do that. That's the best part too, is you don't have to turn anything into a 4/4. This is the type of thing that would be forced on you years and years ago. Now it's like, well, if you wanna, you can turn something off and make it a 4/4. Sure, whatever, fine. Works great.
Bruh, I'm turning Llanowar elves into 4/4s all day. Like play this guy on turn 3, get a 5/5 and a 4/4 upgrade. Like hell yeah, count me in. This is fun. Like, and 5/5 tramplers for 4. Like every green mono green aggro deck's looking for that type of stuff, and this has a big upside.
Yeah. Right. If you're not going to get your Bristlebud farmers in your deck, this is a great way to turn off your opponent's stuff. I think that this is such a fun way. Like, lignifying your opponent's creatures is awesome. Yeah. But then, like, you're right. You can turn your Llanowar elves into lizards later in the game when you don't need the mana anymore.
Yeah, Lignify was just fantastic when it showed up in Lorwyn, which is awesome. Maybe we can get back to it. But the enchanted creature losing all abilities and getting the base toughness of so-and-so, I love it, man. I think they should use it more often. And I
leaves it on the board. It's really good commander pseudo removal. Mm-hmm. I'm very upset whenever my commander gets, witness protection or whatever. So giving green access to that on a creature of some size, I think is a great move.
All right. And we'll go to our first pick here to gather the townsfolk. Talking about community issues thanks to our sponsor, Mana Traders, the best tool to enhance your Magic Online experience. Use the code MagicMikes_VG8, that's video game 8, for 10% off your next subscription with Mana Traders. Tell them we sent you, and we appreciate them sponsoring the show. So we were talking about last week the worst sets of all time as voted on by EDHREC. And then later they posted the best sets of all time according to them. You're telling me with thousands of people responding here, the best Magic set of all time is Urza's Saga. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's not a crazy number one, though.
It's kind of crazy.
You know what I mean?
It's a little crazy.
A little crazy.
But
I don't know. Like,
it's about as crazy as having Aether Drift be the worst. It's a similar amount of crazy.
It's very similar. It's a little silly. Yeah. It's hard to kind of explain, I think. Like, why?
I don't know. Like, I could at least see a world where enough people would rate that number one. I genuinely could. I don't know if I would, but it's not crazy enough to me that I'm like, how did this happen?
Yeah. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's
deserves it. Innistrad should be up there, but like, Urza's Saga?
Dude, I mean, people still play a lot of cards from Saga.
I love
Urza's
Saga
still to this day. That's
sure. I love it.
A lot of expensive cards, a lot of cards that got banned at one point. Like,
and
I get how this could be somebody's number one.
And this is with votes, right? This is with voting for EDHREC. So you have to keep in mind that this is a lot of EDH players who are voting on power level and on nostalgia and on how cards look. And, when you factor those things into the equation, Urza Saga is a very powerful set with very deep lore, with excellent art direction that is like cohesive across the set, and also still relevant to this day. And so I think that there's a lot of folks, particularly the Commander community, who remember Urza Saga extremely favorably or look upon Urza Saga extremely favorably, and cards that are often deemed to be the best sets of all time for one reason or another, sets like Innistrad or Dominaria, are not looked upon as favorably because they're not as powerful, not as relevant in Commander, and also newer, right? So I think that it's given the benefit of the doubt for age also.
And just so we can get the numbers out there for people who are having to listen to the podcast, the top 10 they have here is number 1, Urza Saga. Tied for second place are Alpha and Innistrad. Fourth place is Ravnica City of Guilds. Fifth place is Lorwyn. Sixth place is Tempest. Tied for seventh is Bloomborough and Khans of Tarkir. Tied for ninth is Lord of the Rings and Throne of Eldraine. Here's what I would say. I would think most of us have seen Back to the Future. And if you haven't seen Back to the Future, for God's sakes, go watch Back to the Future. And in Back to the Future, at one point, he plays a crazy, guitar solo thing. Was it Buddy Guy or somebody?
Yeah.
It's, a famous guitarist from the future. He plays their song, and the people are like freaked out. They don't get
your
it.
Kids. Yeah.
He's like, I know you don't get it or you don't like this, but your kids are going to love it. Urza's Saga was a set that was so broken, it was basically ahead of its time. Mm-hmm. It was you know what Urza's Saga's time is now. If you released most of Urza Saga in its broken state for 1999 or 2000 or whatever, that's our normal now. And I think that's part of why this is here, is that these stupid, crazy, powerful things are not quite as stupid and is not even quite as powerful as the stuff we've been getting in the last few years, last 5 years particularly. So to have that almost be a set ahead of its time by 20 years kind of makes sense.
I mean,
yeah, but you're also talking about a 25-year-old set that hasn't been outclassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a big chunk of that set not only is relevant, is all still sought after.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if I were picking the list, I wouldn't have this be my list. I think that, missing Tempest is crazy.
Well, Tempest is at
Tempest
6,
is on
but
6.
that would be my number
missing
1,
Tempest,
probably.
I was gonna say it not being at number 1 is crazy.
Yeah.
Not having like Invasion in the top 10 is kind of crazy to me. Not having Dominaria, as I mentioned before, is kind of crazy to me. So like there's our personal lists would be different.
Sure.
Right? And that's going to happen with top 10 lists. And that's why they're doing this, is to drive the conversation. And
I mean, I'll be honest, the only one that really I don't like, if I made a list or whatever, the only one that really stands out to me is Throne of Eldraine, being surprised that it's as high as it is.
Pretty high.
Like the others, I can at least squint enough and go like, all right, I get how people put cons on the list and Lord of the Rings on the list or whatever.
Yeah.
But even Bloomborough kind of came out of left field, but brought a lot of new people in, and I could see how that probably is a lot of people's favorite. But
like for me,
Throne is really surprising.
Yeah, I think the number 1 best set, I think by default, has to be Alpha. Like it just kind of has to. Like the game came from there.
Beta has the same cards. Beta has the same cards, except that they got the dual lands right.
I mean,
Beta there first.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if we go back and look, there's a lot of junk in that set.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
Like, don't get me wrong. There's some big stuff, right? Obviously.
Sure. Yeah, but George
like,
Washington is your favorite president? Like, come on, have a little.
That's
have
not
some
how
gum
that
works.
But are we going to sit and say, like, the first season of the NFL is the best season of the NFL? Like, no, like.
It's different. I think it's different when it comes to defining the color wheel and the color, what colors do and what they don't do, the effects that were not all, balanced or anything, but whatever. It's the genesis of things.
But I would almost argue that Ravnica did a better job of that.
Right.
Ravnica did a good job of it. But
Adam is my favorite human of all time.
Oh, for God.
The genesis of things.
No, I get what you're saying as an argument, but yeah, Alpha, I don't even know. Alpha, Beta, this is going to be controversial. I don't know if it might even make my top 5.
I think you want to. I think that you want to grow and evolve and be better than you were when you were born. And I think that Magic itself, if it were personified and humanized, would not want its first year of existence to be its best ever, because then it never improved. I
guess there's a question of what does best mean, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's all up for debate. All up for debate.
Whatever that best is for you. For me, the best is what sort of represents Magic the best. What says this is a Magic set. This is how good it can be. This is why it's as good as it is. And there's different frameworks in that. For me, I could argue Beta just because it has all the cards in it or whatever, versus Alpha. But whatever. Either way, these lists are a little silly, and I think really show you honestly how different opinions Magic players have. Honestly,
I think I actually like the Legends set more now that I'm thinking about it.
Legends was up there, right? It was in, they said the next 10 in order are Onslaught, Neon Dynasty, Legends, Mirrodin, Shards of Alara, Arabian Nights, Ikoria, Final Fantasy, Ice Age, and Invasion. Okay, guys, listen to
me. Ice Age?
Ice Age is a terrible set. I love
Ice Age.
That set is trash. It's bad.
Man, like, come on. Like,
so
seriously?
Bad. It was so bad.
What's funny is, as you were going through that list, I was like, Onslaught, all right, Neon Dynasty, Legends, Mirrodin, sure, all right, fine, Arabian Nights, Ikoria, I guess. Final Fantasy, Ice Age, what the fuck? Like, let's be honest.
Ice Age, bruh.
Yeah,
you can't Ice
that
Age. That
is not in the same class with those other 20 or 19.
I also think that people remember Ravnica City of Guilds, the block, as opposed to the set.
Sure.
So I think that people sort of lump those three together when they have these best set or blankest set arguments.
I feel like that happens with a few different sets that were part of blocks, though. Sure. Right? Because I sort of feel that way about Innistrad, even. That, like, it was cool, but it was kind of better when I had the whole block to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, look, y'all. I bought packs of Ice Age. That set was bad. It wasn't good. I bought
don't get
starter
me wrong,
decks. You know, I bought product, man.
the thing about Ice Age is that there were individual cards that were very good in that set,
That were very neat,
but
very cool.
94-ish% of that set is not good though.
Oh my god, try to
That
play that set.
6% bangers, but the rest not so
Yeah.
much.
Try to play that set in limited is just a joke. A joke.
Yeah, it's
There's like
not a thing.
1/4/4 flyer, and that's it. And yeah, good luck. It's crazy. Oh my god, yeah. So silly, weird, great. Let's keep moving here. There was an Optimus Prime Funko that showed up, and that's cool. They make those, right? But oh, I'm sorry, is there a magic card in it now? Looking at the pictures here from the Funko Pop News, MTG Optimus Prime X MTG Funko Pop comic cover. Excuse me. And here it's got a picture of Optimus Prime Hero card on the side of the box. Now, this is not necessarily confirmed that it's going to have the card in it, but I'm not sure you would have this card on the side of it with Magic the Gathering logo right there if it's not going to be in it. The other question is this how they're going to sort of sneakily and interestingly reprint cards that are difficult to reprint? Granted, they own the property and the license here.
I don't think that's what this is. This just feels like a project. It doesn't feel like crazy intentional, just like opportunity to get some exposure. They probably came to them because Funko's having a lot of trouble right now. So if you can get any reason for somebody to buy some extra Funkos, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And Watsy didn't give him a new card. It's just like, hey, you get a thing we put out 2 years ago. So 3 years ago, hell now, right? Like, so.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like this. This makes sense to me.
And the original and like the OG printing is only like $3. So it's not like adding this crazy amount of value or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's part of it too, is that you don't want to put like $25, $30 magic card on the side of this thing. It's going to warp it for the wrong reasons, essentially.
Sure.
So, not that I'm sure that they would complain about it. I'm sure Funko would be like, oh man, really? That'd be great. All right, today in Desperate Ravens, as we move on here to what to complain about, essentially, is Standard is broken.
Yeah.
Your Standard format is terrible. I don't even know what we can say anymore. How do we bring it? How do we frame it? When day one, 30% of the field is Izzet Cauldron. And day two, what is it? Over 50% is Izzet Cauldron?
50%.
Okay. 21 of the top 32. And 6 of the 8 top 8. And the winner. I'm sorry.
Wait,
I think the winner was mono red.
Winner was
like the one thing.
Look
one thing
who
they
comes
didn't get.
crawling back.
Yeah,
you're right.
Look who the real savior is. Everybody was complaining 9 months ago about how bad mono red was. Oh, let's all get rid of Monstrous Rage and all the mice. Look who's back, everybody. It's our old pal, mono red, here to save. No, it's also bad. We don't want this.
It's the only deck with a good win percentage against Izzet Cauldron.
Yeah.
Other than blue-white control, which is bad against mono red. So, like, if that's your rock, paper, scissors,
there's no scissors.
There's just rock and paper. There's just red and this deck that has a good win percentage against everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like it's bad against X, Y, and mono red. No, it's just good against everything except mono red. That's it.
Though it is amusing, though, because it's like, 56, 64, 52, whatever against everything, but like 42% against mono red. Like, it's kind of amazing how it is so strong against everything else, even some 60% matchups, but then like 40% against mono red, right? Just nothing.
Yeah, it's wild. And so you have to start running like weird cards like that 2 red guy that they take a damage when your opponent draws a card.
Razor Needlekin,
thank you very much. That card has been very, very strong. I know why, because I've been playing Standard on Arena, and that card whips up on them as Cauldron decks because they like to draw cards, and you're like, no, thank you, I'll kill you first.
Razorkin Needle.
Yeah, that and the 2-mana lizard that if you play something that costs 2 or less, take a point.
Yes,
that guy or non-creature spell. I think it is. Yeah, non-creature spell, take a point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I know what you're talking
the
about.
Mage Bane Lizard. which is
Yes.
great.
H-Bane. Yeah.
Yep. And so, and Sunspine Links is great. Obviously, Screaming Nemesis remains to be good. It's just, again, your format is broken. We know why it's broken. You are here at another survival of the fittest Vengevine scenario. We've been here before. It is, do you ban the Vengevine because people like playing with survival? Do you ban the Agatha Soul Cauldron because people sure love Vivi and it's the new hot stuff and you don't want to make the Final Fantasy people upset because you banned one of their cards like a month after the set comes out? But you broke it. Decisions must be made. And this wait until November makes me feel sad. I don't know what else to do.
Can I have a rant buzzer here
Go for it.
A minute? There are a lot of creators right now that are talking about this, myself included. Made a video, put it out a few days ago.
Yeah.
Whatever. Y'all, as people, just listening or watching, don't come bitching to us. We can't do nothing about it. Like, you people are coming into our stuff complaining and being like, I don't know about this, and then like wanting to rant about stuff that's unrelated to the thing at hand or whatever. Like, literally, people got so stupid. They were coming in being ignorant, some with bad expletives and whatever, and slurs, whatever.
Sure.
Right? And I'm going, what does that have to do with the damn thing? I'm on your side trying to get this card banned. Like, what the hell? And then I turn comments off, and I swear to y'all, today somebody went on today's video, was like, well, since comments are off on the other video, I'd like to comment here and blah, blah. And I'm like, bruh, are you serious right now? Like, you
Get that
you
engagement,
need to be
bro.
heard
Get
that
it.
bad?
Get that
That
engagement.
like, come on. Like, get out of here with that. Like,
Yeah.
we're obviously all tired of it.
I mean,
we're all bothered by it.
I forgot Chuck.
If you're one of the people, though, I will say this. There are people saying like, oh, well, it's not that hard to deal with. And everybody's just not being creative. And I don't know why all the pro players are playing it. They should be playing it. There's a damn reason.
Yeah.
Right? If the best players are all playing what is considered the best deck, there's a reason it's considered that and why they're all playing it. Trust me, a lot of them play way more Magic than you do. They are way more informed than you are.
There are people, there are formats that people thought were broken that did eventually get reshaped by evolutions that the professional players made. It's been a few months now. The changes that would have been made by this point.
Yep.
Yeah, we've reached a sort of a peak point at this point where it's like, well, the pro players are always going to be the best thing, so that's how you can easily find it. But ideally, the best thing should not be that much of the meta. For me, the tipping point was I watched the MTGGoldfish video where they showed you part of the paper coverage. It looks like Nadu. It has a piece of paper that's like you've used it before or you haven't used it before, and you got to move it between these two different sides. And I'm like, it's chaos. It's madness. You cannot possibly think this is good. You can't possibly think this is positive because Nadu showed how bad it was. And here again, just not a peep. Yet another week of crickets. And I'm like,
oh, and let's address the thing where people saying like, well, if you ban this, then there'll be the next big thing. Like, there's always going to be something that is the best.
Always.
But nothing that dominates 50%.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not a thing. When it does, we do something about it. And honestly, you know what? Let's say something else does pop up and has the same results. You know what? Put the gun to that one too. Yeah. Don't care.
Let it go.
Like, that's how we deal with it. Like, that's just what you do if you want your environment to be fair.
Like, there are, I'm convinced based on previous experience that there are environments where pros may not dabble in, like, for example, Legacy. And when they get a chance to, they find something that people haven't found, the interactions they haven't found. I think there's a point where we found what the most powerful interactions right now in Standard are, which is Vivi and the Cauldron. And there's nothing you can do with two cards that are as powerful as Vivi and the Cauldron in relation to everything else that deck does. So we're going to find the next big thing, not just the mono red deck that's good, not the other decks that are fine too. Blue black ninja stuff is also hanging in there the best they can. But like, this is getting ridiculous. And I don't know. There's this weird ego pride thing where they just can't come out with a banning or where it hurts their fees. Like, what is going on? Tell me, Wizards.
No clue, man.
We're doing the best we can.
No clue.
For those who are just like, you do something, we're doing all we can. We're making content. We're talking about it right now. We're begging and pleading. We're telling them, look, boots on the ground.
Yeah, don't kill the messengers in the middle of all this, man.
Right? We're trying.
We want the same thing you want. We want the environment to be positive and fun. Hell, believe me, I do commentary. I would love to not have to talk about a VV deck for whatever.
Yeah.
10 of the 14 rounds or whatever the hell, right?
Right.
Like, it would be more fun for me too. So whatever.
And the good news is we got Spider-Man Through the Omen Paths coming soon. So, like any good vaudeville act, if you don't like what's on stage right now, wait 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be happening again. All right, so Ultimate Guard. They are on the poop list. I don't know if y'all noticed.
Yep.
They went straight to the poop list. Ristic Studies kind of dropped out, and then kind of one by one, Goldfish, CarloMTG, Ryan Nicholas, Brendan Rollin are all like, we're out. Ryan Nicholas in particular, with a significant number of creators dropping the sponsorships, he said on Twitter, because of Ultimate Guard's decision to continually make immoral choices, Harry Potter something. I'm no longer afraid to say that this same company brought me into a call and requested I refrain from using the verbiage genocide when referring to Palestine. Oh boy. So it's getting a little weird and funky, and that's plenty for those in the community to just be like, well, we're good here. We'll see you later, and cut the ties and move on. And to a lot of creators, that's a chunk of change.
Yeah.
That's putting your wallet, your money where your mouth is, for real.
I would have done the same under those conditions. Just being real about it. Like, if that's the thing and that bothers you, especially with these particular, with somebody like Tron is bad, Ryan, like, that's not a surprise that that's his stance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you follow his stuff, that should not shock you at all that he said something like that. So, like, if you don't know that about people you're sponsoring or whatever, like, that's also a failure of you as a company, because he has not been secretive about this at any point.
Yeah.
Oh, and this was on Blue Sky, by the way. It wasn't on Twitter. My apologies. But yeah, tronisbad.bsky.social, great member of the community for many, many years. So yeah, this is a whole thing where, it's tough. It's not always easy to do that. And I recognize that. And, more power to him. Good job. Nice decisions.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on here. Let's turn the corner to the finisher. Today, September 3rd, Dominaria, celebrated Yargle Day, aka 9/3. How did you celebrate everyone's favorite frog spirit, Reuben?
Well, this past weekend was also Labor Day, and I celebrated that the same way that I celebrated Yargle Day, by paying tribute to the hard-working, dedicated laborers who built the nation. And by the nation, I, of course, mean Urborg.
Of course. They're turning everything into swamps.
That's right.
Makes sense.
It's a lot of work. Swamp and everything. PowrDragn?
There's a bad political joke in there. But yeah. I celebrated Yargle Day with many of my closest Magic friends in Seattle, which is the ideal overcast place to celebrate a dank, damp, clammy legend in Yargle.
Nice. Well, I celeb-argled Yargle to Dargle by taking my kids to Shargle.
Scargle.
Scargle?
Because that's how school would be pronounced.
That's fair.
Here, I'll change the spelling. There you go.
Right. Well, you got to remember, I'm reading this.
That's true. My bad. Before,
so phonetically helps. I celeb-argled Yargle to Dargle by taking my kids to Scargle, playing with my kit Cargles, and of course hosting my pod Cargle with my favorite co-Hargles.
Yeah.
There you go.
We did it. My God.
Yeah, my favorite punchline to make Evan read. That was great. That one was for me. I don't care if that one was funny. That was just to make me happy.
Oh my God. That ends the live episode of Magic Mics. Thanks for joining us here to discuss all things Magic. Thank you, PowrDragn.
Hey, it's always good to be here. If you don't see me much online the next couple of days, it's because I'm stuck looking at very private things with no electronics near me.
Exciting stuff. Thank you, Reuben.
Hey, we live in an NDA world. I'm also in an NDA world. Hopefully I'll have some news to share in the coming weeks about that. Thank you all so much for joining us. I do want to tag on the end here of our a piece of content that you should be aware of that the three of us are doing. Starting next Tuesday, we are going to be watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, the hit 2005 children's cartoon series that's later this year going to be the focus of a Magic the Gathering set. Members in the Discord are going to get to watch the show along with us. So you gotta be a member of the Discord or Patreon.
Any Discord, Patreon, $1 up will get you to Discord, which gets you to us, and we hang out there during the day and answer questions and stuff. So
Yep.
Yeah.
And the show will still stream. We will still be talking about the show, but unfortunately we can't stream the show itself or the audio itself. So you gotta get into the Discord, which is where I get all of my Magic news from anyway. Like, we've cultivated a really excellent Discord for cultivating and removing the grist from the mill of all the Magic news of the week. So please join us next Tuesday and join the Patreon before then.
You know, I swear, you said 2005 and my hip started acting up. I don't know what that's about.
I know.
I gotta go to the doctor, man. My back hurts. What the hell? That's ridiculous.
20-year anniversary is this year. That's why it's coming out.
God, let's move on here to our final slide. I want to thank our sponsor, Mana Traders, my co-host, PowrDragn and Reuben Bressler, viewers like you for watching or listening. Please follow, like, tweet, favorite, share, subscribe to everything social that tells people we exist. Catch us on our exclusive member Discord. Subscribe to our Patreon. To watch us live on Twitch. Join us live or taped on our YouTube channel. Check us out on TikTok. Follow us on Blue Sky. Join us here next week. Same time, same place for another episode of Magic Mics. Good night, everybody.